Hey guys, it's Peyton, and today I'm trying my absolute hardest not to say the Hunger Games for every single answer of this video. I'm doing the mid-year book freakout tag, which I did last year at least. I don't remember if I did it any other year. And it's basically where you check up halfway through the year to see what your favorite books have been, your least favorite books, just see what your progress has been, and all of the good answers really just wants to go to the Hunger Games, but I'm trying not to give answers to rereads, and honestly I've done a lot of rereading this year for some reason. So this list doesn't even feel accurate because most of it really just wants to go to my rereads, but I'm trying to give it to the new ones. Also, let's appreciate my Stranger Things shirt, like, yes. Let's go ahead and get into the questions because there's quite a few. Question number 1, what is the best book you've read so far this year? And even though I want to give it to the Hunger Games, we are going for Defy Me by Tahara Mafi. This is an unpopular opinion for the Shatter Me stans, but I absolutely love this book. I thought it was such a fun ride. I have a million tabs, and I was hooked to this book the entire time. That's why I gave it this spot. It was enthralling. I was sucked into the book so long. Like, I was reading it like crazy. I read it in like a day and a half or something like that. I have a whole reading vlog for it filled with spoilers. If you want to see that, go click the card. This is the 5th book in the Shatter Me series, and it is all about a girl with a killer touch. She can't touch anybody or they will die, and it ends up becoming a big dystopia, and she overcomes her insecurities and becomes basically the most powerful woman ever because she's epic. That's how I'm going to sum up the series, and this book was hated by many but loved by me. That's what's important, I guess, for right now. I really enjoyed it, and I'm super excited for Imagine Me, which is the 6th book that comes out next year. Question number 2 is the best sequel I've read so far this year. Once again, I want to give this to Catching Fire, but I can't. So I'm going to give it to The Wicked King by Holly Black. This is another one that just really sucked me in, and I read it so quickly. Those are the type of books that I love the most whenever I'm just completely taken away from the real world and placed into the story. And that's why I gave it to this one. This is the 2nd book in the Cruel Prince trilogy. I believe it's a trilogy. And the 3rd book is actually coming out this year, I believe. So that's what I need in my life. It was originally supposed to come out next year, but it got pushed forward, which normally things are pushed backwards. So that was like the best thing that ever happened. How do I explain this series? Basically, it follows our main character, Jude, and she has a twin sister and an older sister, and they start off in the human world, but their older sister is actually the daughter of a freaking fairy. And he comes and kills their parents, takes them away, and throws them into the fairy world. And basically, humans aren't really seen as great to these fairies, but Jude and her twin sister are completely human, and they have to grow up in this society, and lots of political intrigue. It's really good, and the hate-to-love relationship in here is to die for, so I can't get enough. Question number 3 is a new release you haven't read yet but really want to. And there's quite a few of those, but there's one that I actually own, so I'll just mention it. The Princess and the Fangirl by Ashley Poston. I'm actually hopefully going to be reading this during the reading rush, so I will fix this problem right away. But there's also A Curse So Dark and Lonely. I still don't have that book because I've been saving. And Ghost of the Shadow Market and like The Devouring Grey and all those type of books. I really want to give those a go. So hopefully I will get a copy of those soon and read it whenever I can. This book is just a companion novel to Geekerella, which is a fandom twist on a Cinderella story. And I don't really know much about this plot. I just know that some characters from Geekerella are in this one, like Jessica Stone. She's an actress that we learn about in Geekerella because she is the co-star of Darian Freeman, which is our hottie from Geekerella. So I believe this is a Princess and the Pauper retelling. So I think these two girls look a lot alike and they switch places by accident, or they do it on purpose. I don't know. I'm very much excited, and there's supposed to be a female-female relationship in here, so really hyped. and pumped for that. Question number 4 is my most anticipated release for the second half of the year, and there is a few. And if they have covers, I will put them right here. So I have Children of Virtue and Vengeance. It's the second book in the Children of Blood and Bone series. Absolutely super excited for that. I believe it's still coming out at the end of this year, I hope. Then there is The Toll by Neil Shusterman. It is the third book in the Scythedom series. Absolutely excited for that too. And then there's The Queen of Nothing by Holly Black, which is the third book in the Cruel Prince trilogy. Hyped for that, yes. Question number 5, biggest disappointment. Some people are gonna kill me, but A Study in Charlotte by Brittany Cavallaro. I read the first 3 books in this series, and they have just been super underwhelming. It's supposed to be a gender-bent Sherlock Holmes book, and that is interesting enough, but I just really didn't feel all that much for the characters or the story. The mysteries itself are not very good. Like, I never felt like I was really shocked with what was going on or anything like that. And I feel like with something like this, where it's supposed to be a giant mystery every single book, I just don't feel like it brought that at all. And I bought the 4th one, which is the last one, and I'm hoping that I can just listen to that on audiobook, because I do like care enough to know what happens in the end, but I really wish I didn't buy that book at full price. Because this is my problem. Like, I was okay with the first and second book. I hated the third book. I didn't hate it, but it was like, what? And then I already bought the 4th one, so great. I got that full price hardcover. Regrets, but I probably won't read that until I get the audiobook on Overdrive, because I just don't think I can read it physically, even though they're so freaking small. It's just so boring, and yeah, sorry. Question number 6, biggest surprise. I'd say my biggest surprise would probably be On the Come Up by Angie Thomas, and I say it was a surprise because I didn't think she could top The Hate U Give, but she absolutely, at least for me, topped The Hate U Give. On the Come Up was fabulous. I still, like, every time I look at this book, I start singing some of the raps, and I still don't even know the beats to these raps, yet I'm still going. Like, you can't stop me on the come up, man. I'm terrible at rapping, so I'm sorry. It was so good that I had to reorder the book and get like a signed edition because I needed it in my life. And I have a huge Angie Thomas situation over here, and I got freaking T'Challa over it because there's 20 billion Black Panther references in this book, and I just felt like it was right to have T'Challa right there. Wakanda forever. Like, I love it. This book is about a young rapper named Bree. Her family is kind of poor at this time, and she is really wanting to get her rapping career started because, one, her father, who unfortunately was murdered, was a big rapper in her neighborhood, and she really wants to take that path and make some money for her and her family. And while that happens, she also gets assaulted at her high school by some security guards. They just do not treat her correctly, and there's videos that go out, and she creates a song to fight against that, and it's really powerful in a different way than The Hate U Give, but I liked it even better because it was less intense, just because The Hate U Give was about like murdering a teenage boy, which was obviously terrible. But this was terrible in a different way, and it didn't have me going as sad because no one died. I loved the friendship she had, and I just absolutely adored this book, and I definitely think the romance was even stronger in this one than The Hate U Give. The Hate U Give's romance, I wasn't really that big of a fan, but that wasn't the point of the book, so I didn't really care that much. And it wasn't the point of this book either. I think it was more well done than the other time. Question number 7, favorite new author. This can be a debut author or someone that's new to me. I pick someone that's new to me, and that is Taylor Jenkins Reid. She is awesome. She wrote The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, and I also listened to Daisy Jones and the Six on audiobook. Really enjoyed that one as well, though I do think they are overhyped. Like, it hurt me a little bit, but I still absolutely enjoyed the books. I think they're very well written and well done, and I can't wait to explore more of her books, especially the ones that aren't as hyped, because that's like what has hurt me in the past with these other 2 books. Really want to get a copy of Daisy Jones and the Six, and I'm excited to continue on my journey with her because she is such a great author, and I loved the bisexual representation in this book. It was absolutely phenomenal. I didn't know going in how great that was going to be, so definitely recommend it. Question number 8, newest fictional crush. This is going to have to go to Darian Freeman from Geekarella by Ashley Poston. He was just a cute secret nerd, but he's actually like a really good looking movie star. I'm dead. Like, that's like exactly what everybody wants. Like Tom Holland. That's like the way that I think about him, like a cute little bean. And he's also, I believe, I forgot what his race was, but he's not white, which is a win. Like, seriously. We got this Prince Charming sort of guy in this Cinderella story, and he's not white. We love that. I just love those guys that act one way, but they're secretly like a smushy gushy person on the inside. That's like kind of like how my boyfriend is. So I guess I got a thing for that. Question number 9, newest favorite character. And I'm definitely twisting up this question because Katniss, Finnick, and Peeta from the Hunger Games trilogy, this is not new to me. I just absolutely love them, and I could not talk about anybody else for this question. They are iconic. They're my favorite characters ever. Like, I just can't get enough of them. And if we're being real, Finnick deserves my ultimate fictional crush as well. He was my first book boyfriend. I'm trying to not mention this book every single time. I'm sorry. Question number 10, book that made you cry. For this one, it only made me tear up a little bit because I just have not been crying that much in books recently. I haven't been getting in my feels, I guess. But The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood was really intense. It is going over such a terrible situation, and if you know anything about this book, then you get it. But it's basically about a really, really bad way of life for women. Basically, there was this huge chemical something, and most women can't give birth anymore. They just can't successfully do it, and that leads to the women that are still fertile. They are turned into handmaids, and they're just like placed around like to different men to like, you know, and it's freaking awful, and the scenes are so graphic in some of them, and it's just really disturbing, but I think it's a very important book, and I probably should watch the Hulu series because I think it expands even more after this book because it kind of leaves off in like a cliffhanger, and it wasn't very satisfying for an ending. But I think I heard that it continues on a little bit, but it's just a very scary situation, and definitely something I hope we never get to, but this world sucks, so you never know what's gonna happen. It was a scary book. Question number 11 is a book that made me happy. Question number 12 is the most beautiful book that I bought this year. I just bought this book. It was actually $5 for some reason at Barnes & Noble. The Snow Queen and Other Winter Tales. It's absolutely gorgeous. It even has the silver pages and absolutely designed beautifully, but I also have the 10th anniversary Hunger Games editions, which I will show you. It comes in this box set, so freaking adorable. We have The Hunger Games, Catching Fire, and Mockingjay. Absolutely beautiful, but the Snow Queen kind of beats it though, because it's so pretty. And big shock, my boyfriend bought me this. The 13th question is, what books do I need to read by the end of the year? I have a whole list. So I need to finish reading the books for the Mass Along, which is like all of Sarah J. Maas's books. So we'll see if that ever freaking happens. And I need to read Finale by Stephanie Garber. I haven't gotten this book yet, but it is the last book in the Caravel series, so definitely want to read that soon. I also want The Ghost of the Shadow Market, if that's what the title is. It's kind of long. I still haven't purchased this either, but it is a Jim Carstairs book, and it's by Cassandra Clare, so obviously I need it. And also all of my anticipated releases that I said, definitely want to read those. And the 14th question is my favorite book community member. I don't have that because I love so many, okay? Don't freaking do that to me. So that is the end of this video. Thank you guys so much for watching it. Like it, comment down below. Have a good day. Please subscribe. Make sure to follow all my social medias, which are linked down below. And go click the bell button, which is right by the subscribe button, which you should have already clicked. And goodbye.